Hey everybody, welcome to DrinkNectar.com. I'm your host, Josh Wade, and this is the internet's place to explore the five senses of coffee and wine. Today we're going down to V Sattui vineyards in Napa, California, primarily St. Helena, California. They have about 230 acres. They farm all in the North Coast area, and they make mostly estate fruit. 49 different wines they produce, I think is what I read. Just celebrated their 125th year. Whoa, I mean, just phenomenal. Just being from Washington State, that is going to be another 90 years in the future, or 80 years in the future, before one of our own celebrates that. So phenomenal. We're going to start off with this early harvest white Riesling. And this is their 2008, clocks in at about $19, $18.75. You can go to V Sattui. They've got some really reasonable tasting fees, $5 and $10 for Napa. That's pretty phenomenal. You can get barbecue there. You can have a picnic. The grounds are phenomenal. Just looking through the pictures, you'll see all kinds of, it's just really beautiful. People have weddings there, hang out and have picnics. They've got pizza out on the lawn, barbecues out on the lawn. It looks pretty phenomenal. So starting off with the Riesling, let's give it a sniff. Really, you get that effervescence, that typical Riesling, kind of a Riesling petrol, Riesling gasoline kind of aroma. Not off, like, I mean, you don't want to take it as a negative thing, but it's just that real typical varietal characteristics of a Riesling. I also get some really crisp pear and some great kind of flowery components, a real sweet flowery. It's got a really great, phenomenal, round mouthfeel in the front. It has a hint of sweetness and a hint of some honey and like a sweet apple, maybe like a caramel apple or something, just that sweetness in there, or sugared candy apple. But by no means is it overly sweet, like a dessert kind of wine. Something that the acidity is super bright, cleanses your palate right away, leaves you feeling at the end with a slight little tart pucker, which a lot of Rieslings will end up leaving you with. Overall, really phenomenal. $18. One of the best Rieslings that I can recall having in quite a while. The next wine we're going to try is the 2008 Los Caneros Pinot Noir. This was done in 50% new French oak, made about 1,000 cases. Just right off the glass, you can tell it has more of a plum color than a light cherry color or a strawberry color in there. Ends up actually coming across as being about 50 to 60% opaque, which is a little bit darker than a typical Oregon Pinot. Really comes across a lot of that stewed tomatoes, stewed fruit, a little bit of black tea components, a little bit of meatiness and earthiness and bacon in there, smoky campfire bacon. Top notch on the nose. Let's see what the sip is like. So getting a lot, obviously the terroir there is different than other places that I've experienced with Pinot. At $36, good value for a Pinot Noir. Getting a lot of herbs in there, the earth in there, a little bit of vegetal components, but not to the point where I'm turned off by them. Typically I am. It's got a lot of structure, a lot of component, really good strength in the back end, a lot of tannin in the back end. So it's not just your light sweet cherry cola type of Pinot. It presents itself with a lot more structure and character. So you've got to weigh that with what you're used to when it comes to Pinot Noirs. The last wine we're going to try is a 2007 Vittorio's Vineyard Cabernet. This is spent, it's 100% barrel aged, 50% new oak, and 50% used or seasoned oak, as people would call it. About 1,000 cases, a little less than 1,000 cases made of this. You see the color there is typical dark red wine, dark Cabernet, more of a thick color than a bright color, but it has some really nice characteristics towards the edges. Definitely strong and clear all the way, or clean all the way out to the edge. A little tight on the nose at $35. Doesn't really come across and bust out with any big cherry fruits at all. Getting more of kind of a dust, some earth in there, as well as more of a subdued, not a cherry, but maybe a raspberry component, so not quite as out front and over the top. Okay, so this is a good structured Cabernet. It's going to present itself really well with a lot of food, but there's nothing within the flavor component for me that is making me go, wow, I just drop dead wow. $35, I kind of want a little bit of that wow factor. What I'm getting is a little bit more of the same than what I got on the nose, just kind of those dried components, dried fruit components, little thick, little tannin on the back end. 2007, possibly with the acidity that's in this wine, could last for another 5 years. Wanted to see a little bit more brightness in the fruit. It's real dull in what it's presenting. So, don't be expecting any real big, bright, bold Cabernet. It's going to be a real, not soft, but real mellow, earthy, tobacco, those types of components. Sorry to be kind of lost with my wording in there, but that's kind of what I'm getting. So anyhow, really encourage you guys to check out V Sattui when you're down in Napa. The grounds look phenomenal. The Riesling was top-notch, and the Pinot Noir actually scored really high with my wife, which is difficult to do because she has yet to fall in love with any of the Pinots that we've tried. So life's always meant to be enjoyed with friends. Hope you guys are enjoying your summertime. Hope you're enjoying some great wine, and drink happy.